Smash that.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness, how about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to week 31 of the 2020-2021 PGA Tour season. We have the AT&T Byron Nelson this week in McKinney, Texas, just north of Dallas, like literally across the highway of Dallas, so it's not too far from Dallas at all. Literally 2 minutes ago, just saw the tweet as I was about to go on that Dustin Johnson has withdrawn from the Byron Nelson with some knee flare-up issues based on the tweet that they put out. Hopefully nothing long-term and doesn't put anything to question for next week, but obviously had to switch up some stuff for this pod really quick. Was going to be on him. I thought he'd be low owned given kind of recent form / people paying down for guys like Rahm, DeChambeau, and Spieth and stuff like that. But we'll go from there. I just want to put that out there. That news just came out a couple minutes before me going live. Recap last week real quick, and then we'll jump right into this, which is at a new course this year. You'll probably hear that 100 times, but I'm ready to go into it. A lot of research last night. Got some information from guys in and around the city. I obviously lived there for many years. I've played this course. So looking forward to the week. I think it'll be a good week. Strong field. Just got a little weaker with DJ, but actually I really think it's top strong. So as I researched stuff and then the pricing came out and everything, I felt, man, I don't want to say balance is the way because there are a lot of guys up top that I like. It was including DJ. But as you start getting down lower and lower, there's not a lot of comfortable plays, especially in the 6K. A lot of flyer potentials, but nothing that just pops out to you. So it'd be interesting to see how the industry and how the builds seem to be coming together as it pertains to the top and the nines, and if you want to play them or mix them and match them, where do you go down? Do you go really low sevens, things like that? For last week, so good and then so heartbreaking all at the same time. DFS wise, man, what could have been? Finished up on the week on main slate, 10 to 20% ROI, which is always great, right? You make money, you make profit, but Jiminy Christmas, with 3 holes to go for most of my core guys in the big 200K, the $15, I was in 15th place. I had 5 guys inside the top 8, including Rory. And I had Vegas went out early that morning. I think he was T45, 48, something like that. He was already done. But enough to obviously I was in the top 15, so enough to have a chance if things go your way. And holy Green Mile. I mean, I think my 5 guys shot a combined 15 over on the Green Mile. Guys like Bubba, Shoffley, Luke List, even Rory Bogey, 18. But by that time I was already way done. Made money, but boy, it was looking really, really, really good there with about an hour to go. Obviously hit showdown Saturday for 21K, so won the 444 or whatever it was with a single bullet. So a huge week for me, a lot of profit there. We smashed Rory. That's our 50th outright winner since the start of 2016, 2017. All documented, all been in place for many, many years, more than most around the industry, I should say. 18th outright first round leader ticket this year alone. Have 12 outright tickets and 6 first round leaders cashed on this season alone. That is a record for me, and we continue to build upon that record, going back to back now with Burns and Rory. 3 out of 4 out of 5 if you include first round leaders since the Masters. We had Matsu, then we got the chop with Stallings and Garnett. Then we got Burns and we got Rory. So a little bit of a heater the last 5 weeks. Let's keep it rolling this week with the Byron Nelson. Some shout outs to Matt W. in the Gups Corner Warrior Room on Slack, our private premium Slack channel. Recently dubbed the Gups Corner Warrior Room for our man ALS Warrior. Everybody loved that name, so we've adopted that and rolling with it. He turned $24.50 into $7,750. I thought that was awesome. Because I get a lot of questions, especially as we continue to grow, get more, people think, well, you got to have a bunch of money or play a bunch to win the money. And I was like, not really. Like most of our guys aren't that. I mean, our community is a nice little niche community. And Jonas 137 been with us forever. $72 into 1,300. A ton of guys smashed the Rory outright. Cat Coulter with a very nice shout out in Slack. Thank you for that. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are turning $20 into 500, 40 into 600, and that's more of what we're about than, man, I'm gonna go play $3,000 this week. It's just not. I know that that's not most people. I wasn't that person until I built my bankroll, went on an all-time heater in 2018, continued to keep that bankroll in place. You're gonna go through ups and downs, but what we teach and how we do it, I think, is different than most, and what makes it special. So I hope you guys come join us. Now's as good a time as any. Not only am I on fire right now with the golf betting and stuff, Ryan's doing a tremendous job with NASCAR. Todd's heating up in baseball, people winning in there. NBA did a great run in the playoffs, even though it was a little bit different last year. So Dan's ready to rock and roll after we get through. We're a little weird week right now with NBA where you got a lot of guys sitting out, a lot of injuries, a lot of, cheap value guys to try to decipher through. So we get through this week. We're rolling the NBA playoffs. Playoffs is always a good time, whether it be any kind of sport. MMA's doing tremendous. Got a little bit of a screw job on the judging Saturday night. Not only just us. I mean, anybody in the industry could have saw that. Dude was minus 500 live after the fight was over, and he lost on all three judge cards. Didn't even win one round. One guy had him losing 30-27. Unreal, but that's the MMA as we know it. So tons of action going on. Then we got all the football coverage in the world. College football is best in the country, best in the industry, hands down by Bobby. And the NFL is going to be as strong as we've ever been heading into the 2021 season. So come check us out now. Great time to do it. Smash 20 gets you 20% off. That includes a 7-day free trial. So say you just want to try out the weekly, you can put that in. You get the discount. You get the 7-day trial. You won't be charged if you want to quit us, but if you want to stay with us, you can essentially get 2 weeks and get you through the PGA Championship if you sign up today for whatever it is, $15-16 if you want all site access, or if you just want the content analysis, it's half that price. So go check out those packages. Even if you want to dip your toes in the water, now's a great time because you can get the free week trial plus your next week, that you pay for. And if you don't like it, you can still cancel anytime. If you love it and want to upgrade, your discount continues on with you. So that's another awesome deal we got going for you. You smash 20 to get 20% off any gear in the GC store. As always, if you're a GC sub, you get an extra discount. Reach out to me if you're not aware of that. I will be doing a new welcome tutorial video of the entire new site, what we got going on, and this video will be plugged into our welcome emails to our new subs, but I'm going to post it for the current subs because there may be some stuff you guys just aren't aware of that we have. Now that we're fully rolling on the new site, have a lot of our new things in there. I want to do the welcome video and kind of show you guys that and some more things about our GC Warrior Room Slack channel. So that'll be coming out here shortly. I hope you guys appreciate that. If there are things you want to know about that maybe I can add to that, DM me and let me know. I'd love to get the things in there you guys want. Rate and review us on iTunes. We'll be doing as always, our major giveaways next week for the PGA Championship. One giveaway will be from rating and reviews on iTunes, so go ahead and get those in now. I keep them all. If you forgot or don't know if you did them, do it again. I always pull it back again and cross-reference it, and someone's going to win by rating and review us on iTunes. Really simple to do. It helps us, goes a long way. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like the video. Like this video right now. Even if you don't watch the video, you just do the audio. Go do it. Leave in the comments who you want to play in the 9K range this week. So who's your favorite play in the 9K range this week? And I'll put those in for our giveaways on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, last week, because of the storms and the hail and all that stuff coming through, they had to replace like 15 of our street lights, and they chose to do it right when I would be doing the Wednesday movers and shakers. I did the Tuesday tidbits last week, but the Wednesday one, we had so they shut down our power in the neighborhood from like 11 to 3 almost, my time. So I was like, well, there's no point in me doing it now. It's actually like 10 to 3 because I was just able to get live for E9 afterwards. So unfortunate. I told the premium members, but in case you're not a premium member and you missed movers and shakers last week, that's why. It should be back this week, and I'll be doing our YouTube giveaways on there. Listener League winner from last week, Wild EMC. He had a great week overall. He had Rory, Shoffley, Wallace, Griffin, Davis, and Mitchell. Great call on Mitchell there. Had some Mitchell and MMEs, didn't go that route on the bullet, so good call by him. Let's fill this one up super quick. I want to do our biggest listener league ever next week. DraftKings said if we can fill this up by Wednesday, early, not last minute, they will do 750 entries next week, which will be our biggest one with our biggest prize ever. So let's get that done. It'll be in the description of this pod now. Click it, get your 3 lineups in. 1K to first this week alone, limited rate, flat payouts. If you are a listener of the pod and you finish top 3 and you DM me either on Twitter or in Slack, I will give you a code to get $50 GC credit and swag on that. All right, all that stuff's done. Let's get to this week. TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney, Texas. As I mentioned, it's just north of Dallas. It's par 72, 7,500. Number 12 played as a par 4 for the 2012 Webb/Korn Ferry, whatever you want to call it. It does look like, by all indications, it's going to play as a par 5, which would be a short par 5, making it a par 72. It played as a par 71 in 2012. But everything I've seen and talked to and looked at looks like it'll play at par 72. It is Georgia fairways, bent green grass. The par 5s are gettable. Number 14 is a par 4 that gave up 6 eagles as a par 4 as well back in 2012. So drivable holes for some, probably a bump to Bryson, and guys like that. I mean, Rahm can get out there. Brooks, when he's going, can get out there. A ton of these guys can get up there. The par 3s are long. So I did play it once from what they had marked as the PGA Tips back then. It's super long par 3s. 3 of them well over 200 yards. There's only one of them that's under 200 yards, period. So long iron play could come into play. It is going to be wet this week. I'll get to that in a second. Leading up to the tournament. After the tournament starts, looks good. So if we're not getting rollout, this course can play a little bit along and have some, especially the way you have to cross. There's a creek that runs through all of it, and the way you have to cross the creek and make some decisions. If they're not getting rollout and stuff, could have some longer irons than what you would think. But there are plenty of holes where the short irons will come into play. 10 through 13 is a tough stretch on the course, while 4 through 6 probably plays the easiest when you look at the plus minus to par. Although, none of that really matters. I mean, as far as showdown goes or something like that, that doesn't really affect one way or the other. Maybe you'd want guys starting on the front just to build a little positive mentality instead of starting right off the bat hard 10 through 13. But I really think in general, this course is going to be gettable by these guys. I see cut being -2, -3. It is a full field, 156 guys. So similar, we could have low 6-6 again, like we've had the last 2 weeks. But I see the winner being, this could be a 19, 20, 21 under type tournament. Mainly because much like Trinity, which is the reason why they moved Trinity. I think a lot of people say it's, just because of how it played. That wasn't as much as it, to me, and I was living down there when I was at Trinity, is the location. The location is horrible. It is super hard to get to. There's not much parking in that area. There wasn't a lot of shade, so it was hot at times. And then even more so, that course is built to where the wind makes it so brutal. At time, it can make it tough scoring. In the 2 years they played it, there just wasn't much wind and weather to make it difficult, and so it kind of didn't play to their favor. But I still think if that place was very accessible and the fans were there and there was tons of shade and all that kind of stuff, definitely would still be there. But like when we were there, it was so hot, and there was really, unless you were up in, we like to walk around, but if we got up into the suite and stuff like that, it was nice. But not everybody can do that. So when you want to get a whole bunch of people out on a golf course, and it gets to, this week actually turned out would be great for Trinity because it's going to be very nice, cool weather for Dallas, which is just 2 hours south of me. So it's similar weather. It wasn't because, I think that's why they decided to go ahead and move it, is because it was horrible to get to with no parking was one of the biggest deals. You almost had to, either tram into it, Uber into it, or whatever. That was the biggest deal, reason why they moved it. All that said, this week it looks like there's a ton of rain in our area. We're going to get a ton of rain tomorrow. Wednesday, probably some rain. Could soften it up some. We've had pretty good storms come through here as of late. So could be a little soft with less rollout, but there won't be much wind as of now. This is Monday afternoon. Thursday through Sunday, not like we have seen in Texas. So that's why I think 19, 20, 21 under could really, I mean, really a birdie fest is what I'm looking at this week right now. And if that changes, I'll obviously update it on Tuesday and Wednesday short pod, and then obviously go into detail on E9 Wednesday, which I believe Kenny Kim will be joining us back from his big project that he has now wrapped up. So looking forward to that, and then he will obviously be here for the PGA Championship. Some past winners, which is kind of irrelevant, but Texas is Texas. Maybe to put a little into it, Sung Kang, Aaron Wise, Billy Horschel, Sergio's won twice this event, not at this course, obviously. Bowditch won in 2015. Some runner-ups. Todd won, Duffner's won, Bradley's won, Day's won. Palmer's finished second. Bradley finished second. Hoffman, Brooks, Day, some Aussies. So I mean, that's sometimes you hear the Aussie Texas win narratives. I don't think the win's going to be a problem right now, so that may not matter. And if you look back, 2018 and 19, again, like I just mentioned at Trinity, there wasn't much win. You had 23 under and 23 under. This course isn't set up like a Trinity per se, but I do think the wind makes it tougher. And I just don't see that in the forecast right now. For me, I'm looking at good drives, ball striking, par 5 DK scoring, birdie or better, great approach, and scoring opportunities inside 12 feet are the big deals I'm looking at. You're really going to have to be scoring here. Big greens, flat greens though. So they are bent, but they're not like very undulated like Augusta per se. Should roll fairly good, fairly pure, I think. Probably a little bit of, again, we had that historic winter storm, not only in Oklahoma, but down in Texas. So, and some of our courses around here are dealing with the winter kill. So a little bit of that they're dealing with, but I think the greens are going to be somewhat pure and roll pretty good. And I just think more than anything, if you're not scoring or taking advantage of that, you're going to be struggling behind the field here. So I'm really looking at the scoring statistics, and I think off the tee is going to matter. I'm not going to go all bombers and all that because I think this course, especially if it does seem to dry out a little bit and roll a little bit, that guys that aren't super long can contend. Doesn't mean they necessarily will win, but they can be in play there come the weekend. So I'm not going to mark those guys out automatically. New to the event since 2016 is 35 guys. Obviously, this is the first time all these guys are playing as a PGA Tour on this course. But as far as the AT&T Byron Nelson goes, 35 of these guys have not played this event since 2016. If you look at my rankings as a premium member, I have noted that 2016, 2017 was played at TPC Four Seasons, and 2018, 2019 was played at Trinity. Very little stock going into course history or anything like that. On my deep dive, I will look at course fit, and that's why I'll pull some comp courses in to how I think this thing will play this week, especially talking to people that are around the course and understand it even better than I do. For our ranges this week, 10K, I have 6 guys. 9K, we have 8 guys. 8K, we have 11 guys. 7K, we have 35 guys. 6K, we have 88 guys. 9K above, as I mentioned, I had to do a little switching. This is our Sweet 16. I give you 3 picks and a Bubble Boy in each range. That gets us our 16. If you're new to the pod, appreciate it. We had a lot of new people follow us last night. Had some new members join. I would definitely appreciate that. Hopefully we can prove what we're all about. I do a fade of the week, a sleeper of the week, some gut feel plays, my top 5 that pop in 2 long shots brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight betting segment, and then one and done and we get out of here. We try to keep this thing around 40 minutes or so. 9K and above was going to be DJ as my first play, so he scratched. I'm going to go Spieth, and I have a little bit of hesitancy. I really think the top is very difficult to decipher this week where you want to go, whereas I think I can dial in on that middle range on some guys I like. I may spread out up top, dial in my core on that 7, 8K range, and then sprinkle some 6K is kind of where I'm at on a Monday afternoon. We'll see how that plays out. I like Spieth. He's not afraid to get on streaks. That doesn't necessarily have to win per se, but a top 5, top 10 streak isn't something he's afraid to do when he's rolling. Obviously, he's coming off the win at Valero. Kind of unique that we get Spieth, Matsu, and Burns all coming off wins playing back this week. Burns took the week off. Spieth's basically taking a month off, same as Matsu. Matsu hasn't played since the Masters, neither has Spieth. and then Burns has played. He played Valspar and took Wells Fargo off. So I guess Spieth played Valero, won Valero, played the Masters, and then hadn't played since then. So technically not his return since the win. But three very recent winners, all back this week after a little bit of a break. I like Spieth. Obviously, I think one narrative we're going to hear a lot is the Texas players, the Wynn players. I don't think, again, that may be a good thing to avoid because I don't think, maybe it changes about Wednesday. The Wynn, I don't think it's going to matter that much this week. Now, being familiar with the course, so Spieth, Scheffler, Willie Z, Bryson lives in that. All these guys live around there. I don't know how much they necessarily play it. There's a ton of great courses for these guys to play in Dallas. If people are going to ride that narrative street, I'll easily pivot somewhere off of that. I like Spieth. I like where he's priced. He's now the third highest. So a top 5 gets us there. If he's super chalky, I don't think I'll go there. I'll go elsewhere. I'll save some money because I think saving money this week will be good. Bryson's my number 2. And Spieth at this event, he's finished 18th, 21st, and 29th. So done well, had a miscut in 2017. So there's some warrant to him playing well in the Dallas area, but we'll see how that goes. Bryson missed the cut twice at TPC 4 seasons, which has some similarity to Craig Ranch. Not verbatim, but it does have some. Won't put a lot into that. Again, he's another Dallas guy. I think he'll get hyped up. It really comes down to Spieth, DeCham, and Rahm. I'm gonna fade at least one. Right now, it's Rahm because I think with DJ out, Rahm, you save $200. He's coming off the miscut. People bounce back, that kind of deal. I think he'll get more ownership. But if I'm wrong on that, or get talked up more, if I'm wrong on that, I'll go Bryson Spieth. I think Spieth will be the less owned because of those 3. Because people will just pay down or they'll pay up for Rahm. That's why I keep thinking people will go to Rahm. Now that we don't have to make the DJ distinction, you're getting some savings in the general salary because he was priced into the algorithm on DK. So out of those 3, I'm going to go 2 right now. It's Spieth and Bryson. My third guy is Willie Z, coming off the miscut and hopefully take a little bit off of his popularity. He is a Dallas guy, so that could bring it right back. He's 8th in my stats, 10th in my recent form. I kind of like the reset for him. Got back out there. Hadn't played since RBC Heritage. Missed the cut. Maybe, doesn't get as much talk up, but, he's 4th in my putting split models on bent, and that doesn't include Augusta that has bent, and he putted well there. So I really like Willie Z this week, and I don't mind starting lineups with Willie Z if I want to, get kind of that hybrid balance type deal. My next one is Scheffler, and that really is going to come down to I don't think I want to play Scheffler and Spieth. I think they'll both get hyped up and talked with the Texas narrative. So let's say I wind up going Rahm and DeCham for whatever reason. Maybe I bring Scheffler in, but those 2 are going to be on the bubble for me. But at the end of the day, as of right now, I have Scheffler on the bubble at 9,400, 29th at Valspar, 54th at Valero, 35th at Trinity in 2019. He has good stats by all means. He's 12th. Nothing to hate on him by any means. Just those other 3 are just a little bit stronger in my final ranking or my early rankings right now. So that's why he's the bubble boy for me. 8K range a little clearer for me. I love Siwoo this week. $8,800, 2nd in stats. 23rd at Valero, 33rd at RBC Heritage. Been playing really, really good as of late. All the stat models he's top 20 in. He's 1st in opportunities inside 12 feet, 2nd in approach, 2nd in birdies or better. 43rd in par 5 DK, which I'm not too worried about. It's good enough. He's decent on the bent, mid-range average. So I like Siwoo a lot this week. I like Siwoo next week as well. So, maybe get a little momentum going to that. $8,800, he doesn't have to win or anything. Aaron Wise, a guy that was on that 6-man team I discussed that was right there. He's the only one of my guys that actually finished decently strong, Sunday, but coming in with a 9th. He won this at Trinity in 2018. We were there for that. 43rd in 2019. So some Texas love there for him. 17th in stats, 16th in recent form. I really like where his game's coming in at overall. At $8,300, top 30 upside. I'll take that all day. Last is Schwartzel. It's wasn't a guy I thought I would be keying in on, but there's going to be some chalk in this area. So he's a guy I don't know that'll get talked up. Really good form coming in. He was 69th at Valero, then 21st at Valspar, 14th last week. So building on some momentum. He's right there with Siwoo in that mid-range average on putting splits on Bermuda. I mean on bent. Stat-wise, he's 23rd for me, $8,100. I think he'll be a little less owned, not really on much radar. So I like Schwartzel this week. And my bubble boy is Peters, only because I don't think he'll be talked up. He can get hyped up from time to time. He plays well at Euro all the time. I play him in a lot of doubles. 23rd in 2019 at Trinity. Just why I just like him in general. So I'm going to play him. He's on the bubble just in case he gets kind of talked up. I could have put Schwartzel there, but I like Schwartzel as a sneaky play. So Peters was my bubble boy, but he'll probably be in my final pool as well, or at least my next to last pool. 7K, I like Doug Gim. We know his weakness is putting. $7,500. He actually rates out better on bent than any other surface that I looked at on the putting splits right now. Up and down, tee to green has been great, right? 33rd in my stats. 12th at Trinity in 2019, kind of like that. He's obviously went to UT. 44th at Valero, 33rd at Heritage, missed the cut at Valspar. Stat-wise, pretty good all the way around. Par 5, he struggles at sometimes. Birdie or better, struggles at a little bit. But the other stats, he's looked solid. I don't think he'll be hyped up. Especially he was fairly high owned at Valspar. But if he is, he's a guy I don't want to eat a chalky Doug Gim, but I'll eat a bounce back Doug Gim that's a lot less owned. Wes Bryan on the uptick. We're seeing some positive light for him, not just at courses that he plays well at, but miscut at Valero, then 25th at RBC, 40th at Valspar, $7,100. So that's that range at low 7 that I think we're going to have to pepper some because there's just not a ton of warm and fuzzy in the 6K range. And normally I don't mind going the 6K range because it's golf. There's 156 guys, but this week I was scratching to find some good stuff. He's 9th in my stat model right now. Obviously, he's got some limited data in there, but recently he's been playing really well, and I think I'll go back to him at $7,100. And then Seb Straka, we know he can get it off the tee. He's 14th in my stat model. 3 straight made cuts since the Valero, a 29th in 2019 Trinity, 29th overall. That's a lot of 20s and 9s in there. 29th overall in the bent green grass split. So a lot of positives there. I really like it. $7,300, make a cut, give some top 20 upside. I'll tip some Straka this week. And then Bubble Boy, I like him a lot. I don't know where his ownership will be, but it's CH3. 4th in 2016, 9th in 2018. He did have a miscut in 2019. Then coming into here, a miscut at Valero, then 18th, 39th. We know he's been working on his game. 40th overall in stats. I think he's a guy that could just hang around here. He's got some pretty decent bent splits as well. $7,800. I really like his upside at $7,800. Just enough for me to put him on the bubble just because he doesn't pop everywhere. But I certainly like him. Enough to put him on the bubble for us. 6K range, like I mentioned, a little bit squirrely this week. That'll be one I have to deep dive into as we get the next 48 hours rolling. My first play is Danny Lee. Lives there in Dallas. He's 25th in my stat model, so that kind of surprised me because he's coming off a miscut, 21st at Valspar, miscut. Doesn't seem to have the best form, but you go look, and a lot of it's been short game putting. So, maybe I know he lives around the area. Maybe he's familiar with it, has no problems. 2016 and 17, he finished 18th and 5th at TPC. Again, there's some similarities of 4 season to here. So for $6,700 and in a range that I think we're going to struggle to find a lot of great plays. I think there's some good, solid MME plays. I don't mind Danny Lee this week. Chris Baker, 6K min. I think it's a great play just because of the price savings. He's 13th in my stats. You have to go back and dig to where those stats are coming from, but not horrible. Putting, not great, but a 6K, you put him in your MME pool, he gets you some different builds. I definitely like him this week as a flyer. And then Bryce Garnett was a guy I like. I play him quite a bit. I didn't expect to necessarily see him come in the model this week. He's nothing great, but $6,900. He's 8th in the putting splits, which I really liked. A miscut last week, 52nd at RBC, a miscut at Valero. Not a ton that's there, but I think in this whole range, there's some of that. I don't want to say gut feel, but you're going to have to find something they do good at. Do you like them? For him to putt that well, $6,900. He's got good approach and opportunities inside 12 feet in this field, and his par 5 scoring is 36. So some upside there, make the cut, maybe have a chance. So I like Garnett this week. And then my bubble boy was Roger Sloan. Played him some last week, and I did some showdown with him. 58, so nothing to write home about, but had some signs. There were some signs where he went on some streaks, was moving up the leaderboard. He either had a really bad Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which one. I think it was Sunday. He's 35th in stats, 30th in recent form. So overall, I like where he's at. Another guy that's right there at $6,900. I like Roger Sloan this week. I'll have some of him in the MME pools. Fade of the week right now for me is Fitzpatrick, only because he's been riding some pretty good ownership. I like him. I just think he's going to be high owned. Maybe that changes by Wednesday, but he's 16th in bent grass split, so that's great. 24th in stats, 4th in recent form. All that saying, I think a lot of people like him. We'll play him a lot. He's not the longest off the tee. He's 53rd in good drives. He's 108th in opportunities inside 12 feet. So that's enough there to say, all right, if he's going to be chalky, I have to move off somebody up here. Right now, it's Fitzpatrick. It's a guy that I would pivot off of if he's going to be that 15% or more. We'll see where we're at come Wednesday. I always update that. My sleeper of the week, and I think he'll be under 5% or right around it, is going to be Brooks. I'll play him. I just will, especially with DJ out now. $9,900. I don't see a lot of people playing Brooks who's still, we don't know where he is fully in the recovery part. He missed a cut at Augusta. He was very low on there. He hadn't played since there, so more rehab, getting better. One would think he's here. He wouldn't play this week if he wasn't feeling good. Why risk it before a major? He's one that I got earmarked to listen and watch the presser with him. I know he'll probably have one. He finished second at TPC in 2016, 50th in 2017, 4th in 2019. So has some good history in Texas. Decent on the bent putting split. Stat-wise, he's third for me, although that's stretching out a little bit because he's missed so much. But I'll take him at 5 to 7 or less % as the sleeper of the week. Gut feel plays. Gooch, 34th in my model. I like him this week. He made the cut last week, 26. Continue to show positive signs. Patton Kazire, he's 40th in my early model. A 9th, a miscut of 60 to 58. So 3 out of the last 4, he's made the cut. $7,300. That's in that range where I think we need to be peppering. And he's 7th in the bent splits for me. So I like that. Cameron Champ, any kind of course where I'm talking about off the tee and bomber and all that, I'm going to play some Champ. He's 8,000. So, a top 30 upside is all I need there. We know the iron game struggles at times, but I'll take that risk. A guy that showed some life last week and then just had a horrible Saturday, Patrick Rogers. He's another great putter at times, 21st in the bent greens. 3 straight made cuts in Texas at this event, 46th, 27th, 53rd, the 37th last week. Good drives, he's 6th, ball striking 113th. Then the rest, he's all right there, average to good. So $7,100, that range you want to pepper. I like some Rogers as a gut feel play of the week. Betting top 5, the pop and 2 long shots provided by Monkey Knife Fight. We will have some big promotions with them for the PGA Championship. Go ahead and get signed up now. Use the code GUPS for 100% match up to $50. We'll have a ton of coverage for that last week and my favorite plays for the PGA Championship. Top 5, the pop to me. Siwoo at 40. Ryan Palmer at 50, Peters at 66, Gooch at 80. And then my low guy that I'll flirt with, probably should have bet him before the Dustin news. He was flirting with 18 to 20 to 1 was Berger. Hadn't mentioned him much. I do like him. He won the comeback event over at Colonial, not too far from McKinney. I was prepared to come onto the pod to say I hope he dips to 20, but now that DJ's out, that's probably going to move closer to 15. So maybe like Brooks, if he stays around 20, I'd go ahead and do that. But those other 4 I really like, and then Aaron Wise is probably someone I'd throw in there. Now that Wise or List, they're both kind of right in the same area, both around 66. If we can't get Berger at that kind of number, 2 long shots. I like Ben Martin, 125 to 1. And Patton Kazire 150 to 1. One and done this week, I think, back I've been saying it. So we got a pretty good top loaded field. So I think you can go anywhere. I'd try to pick out who I have for the PGA. I'd probably go ahead and pick out who I will have for the US Open. Just a lower purse pool than some others. maybe to take some chances. Maybe if you haven't used a Berger or a Brooks if you don't like him at the majors. Burns, can he go back-to-back start wins? I think he can. I like him this week. I'll probably play him if people are just in that narrative mind. Siwoo, I think, is in play. Scheffler, Garcia, even pretty good Texas. Any Texas tournament he plays decently. He won this event at the TPC back in 2016. So, those kind of guys I think are live for one and done. If you didn't use Matsu, maybe you take him here. I like to see him come. I mean, he went over there, had to quarantine, all that, came back. This is his first tournament since winning it. He has played Trinity well, so I'm not off him. He'll probably be low owned, maybe not as low owned as Brooks. So I would use him in MME if he is. I'll wait to see where everybody's at on Matsu in general. I think most people will be like, just let him get his feet wet this week, and then we'll look at him next week. Maybe we take advantage of him early. He's a robot for a reason. We talk about that, so I don't think he'll be too off from getting his groove back together. So that's a guy you can maybe look at for one and done. As I mentioned, Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern, E9 with Kenny Kim. That's about the start time. I'll update you if it changes. Use the code SMASH20 for 20% off. Includes a free trial. So give us a tryout. If you don't like this week at all, just cancel. You don't get charged. If you do, keep it rolling. Rolling to the major next week. If you want to upgrade from there, we honor that as well. So looking forward to you guys joining it. Looking forward to another great week. I really, really enjoy all the positive feedback yesterday and last night on Twitter. It means a lot. I appreciate you guys. You have a blessed week. Thank you.